Well, that was something. Chiefs defeat.
We really did not deserve that.
Yeah, Chiefs defeat the Chargers 23-20 in overtime. Harrison Butker nails a 58-yarder on the second attempt after the play was called dead by a penalty. A lot of really dumb penalties in this game. Where do we even start?
Let's start with the first quarter. Everyone fucking sucked.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes and the offense just were not, and like, so people like to be like, Mahomes, he had no time to throw, and typically I will defend Mahomes in those situations. Like, yeah, his O-line was terrible, but even Mahomes he looked real off. Like, he was not hitting these throws, man, and like, but yeah, the O-line just could not block a freaking ant. And the receivers, Sammy Watkins had a drop, I believe. He had a couple drops today. But the first quarter was such a mess, dude. Like, the offense gave nothing, absolutely nothing. And then the defense looks like it's back to its 2018 form.
In the first three quarters, the only people who showed up were Travis Kelce, Harrison Butker, Tyrann Mathieu, and L'Jarius Sneed, Defensive Rookie of the Year Sneed.
Yeah, Sneed's been awesome. He kept up with Keenan Allen pretty well today. There was that one play where he got him on one of his routes, but besides that, I don't remember Allen killing Sneed really at any point of the game. And then Sneed had that one pick.
Yeah, typically when you hear a corner's name, it's because they screwed something up. But Sneed, at least so far in his two career games, when you hear his name, it's because he did something really impressive. And I really like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, he's our number one corner right now, and he's a rookie, and he's doing all this. And that's fine and all, but, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, like you mentioned earlier, but I cannot wait to get Charvarius Ward back because we sorely need help. Fenton and Sneed out there all alone just is not going to cut it.
Well, you know how we've always said, like, we don't think Charvarius sucks, but he's not a true number one corner?
Right.
I honestly feel like Sneed could end up being that true number one corner.
He's not. Yeah, there's no way he's giving his job back. He's shown way too much. He might struggle in a couple matchups, but like I said before, he had some of the best testing numbers of any defensive back in his draft class. So he has the athletic ability to keep it up. So let's hope he does.
Yeah, hopefully when everyone's back, we have some good flexibility. I would probably go with Sneed at number one, Ward at two, and then I really like Fenton in the slot. And then I just have Bashaud Breeland rotate into any of those three positions if someone gets hurt or gassed or something along those lines.
Yeah, because Bashaud Breeland, he's pretty good in zone as well, and he can come up and make tackles. He's a really good tackling cornerback. That's something I love about him. But that's kind of random. But notice how when Frank Clark went out, quote-unquote, sick in the middle of the game, we started to play better?
He sucks. Oh, he has stomach issues again.
This man...
Almost as if it's an excuse for shitty play. I've been saying this.
This man, Frank Clark, has a stomach virus like every other week, I swear to God.
Well, it's whenever he sucks. Oh, you didn't see Frank Clark at 100%. Well, when are we going to see Frank Clark at 100%?
Yeah, and
it's like the one guy on Twitter was getting mad at us for saying he sucks, saying, it's one drive. Well, like I said earlier, one drive turns into one game. One game turns into one season. One season turns into 2 seasons, etc., etc. They're always going to make excuses for him.
Yeah, that first drive where Herbert ran it in on us, Frank Clark was non-existent. There was no edge being set, nothing, and people were like, and I swear that like people will still find a way to point out something he did good. Like, that's fine, but he sucked. I mean, he didn't do anything. Now, I will give him credit in the Texans game in the first half. He had a couple nice plays, but after that, you didn't really hear anything from him.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's talk about the linebackers.
What else, really?
Let's talk about the linebackers.
Oh, yeah. Spags is homophobic.
Still, again, he's not giving up. his homophobic stance because Willie Gay continues to not see any time. He was in there for a few snaps. I don't recall him ever doing anything much, though. I think they had him rush the passer on one snap, but that was it. In which he
came in on that one special team snap, and I think he got his hand on the ball. He didn't block it. But he showed more energy on that play than anybody on the defense did the entire game.
Well, the athleticism was what stood out to me because he made a really nice little lateral cut to get past that guy that was supposed to be blocking him. And then he just ran right up on the kicker or punter or whatever and just got his hand right in his face, and he got a little bit of the ball.
I have no idea why Neiman is still on the team.
Yeah, that's what
Neiman can't tackle. He can't cover. What can he do? Why is he still here?
I think about the only good thing he does is warm the bench, really. But the thing is, he's not sitting on the bench ever, even though he should be. But I just don't get it. It's like, why is he getting so many opportunities? I mean, you saw it again, just piss poor tackling. You just put one move on him and he's out of your way. It's just, I don't understand why he keeps getting more and more opportunities.
When Wilson got shot, I'm not one of these DOD truthers that are like, oh, they're hiding DOD for the game next week. He's going to be an MVP. He's going to be the MVP of the game. He's our secret weapon. I'm not one of those idiots who thinks that we're just, like, hiding him for some secret reason and he's actually this secret, like, Bobby Wagner 2.0 type player or any stupid crap like that. But when he came in, he played well. He wasn't anything spectacular, but he was certainly better than Neiman. So again, why is he here?
Yeah, he didn't stick out like a sore thumb like Neiman did.
Yeah. He had one decent stop, and then you didn't really see him much outside of that. But Neiman can't tackle or cover at all.
Yeah, it just pisses me off. The D-line today was kind of disappointing, honestly. I didn't recall them getting to Justin Herbert much, besides that one Dana sack, which was a nice sack. I give Dana credit, but after that, they didn't capitalize on it at all. They let up like 28 yards in 2 plays, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, we got 2 sacks, and both of them were just because Herbert is a rookie and making rookie mistakes, and he held on to the ball too long, and Dana and Taco both capitalized.
Yeah.
That's all those were. It wasn't any, like, amazing finesse move from either of them. It was just Herbert getting nervous and hanging on to the ball too long.
Yeah, and, you know, I have to say I'm nervous about the Ravens next week, and, you know, once again, we did this last season where it's like, man, Taco, this guy can stop the run, and Mike Dana can stop the run, and Willie Gay, yep, our best run-stuffing linebacker that we drafted. You know, we get all these guys that can supposedly stop the run, yet our run D is consistently horrible every year. It's just it's bad. I don't get it.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a season in franchise history in which the Chiefs were good run stoppers. I think you'd have to go back to the Buck Buchanan, Willie Lanier days to find a time where the Chiefs consistently stopped the run.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and we're going to need to stop the run against the Ravens next week. Now, granted, in our matchup last year, I think we allowed 208 total rushing yards, and we still won the game, so if we're just not horrible, we could win, but maybe that's even asking too much.
The key to that game is going to be dictating the pace. The Ravens are going to run all over us and score a lot of points. But what we need to do is we need Snead and Tyron to force turnovers, and then we just need to keep up with them scoring-wise. And I think we can do that. They have a weakness at safety, and their defensive line I'm definitely scared of. Calais Campbell is just a monster.
I will say one thing. In my opinion, I think the Chargers' pass rush is a little bit more explosive than the Ravens. The Ravens do have some good players across their line, but from what I'm hearing from some of their fans, their pass rush is not up to what it should be right now. So, I mean, the thing is if their pass rush isn't where the Chargers were, I think we can manage a little bit better because Mahomes, like our O-line has always been kind of rough since Mahomes has been here. Well, besides 2018, it was really good, but if we can just manage to give Mahomes just 3 seconds to throw the ball, I think we'll be fine. And the key is just to jump out to an early lead.
What worries me about the Ravens is I'm not going to worry about their entire D-line, but we saw Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram take turns smoking Eric Fisher like a blunt.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Tillery, who just manhandled Ryder snap after snap. What's going to happen when you have Matthew Judon on Eric Fisher and Calais Campbell coming up the middle, going after Ryder and Wiley?
Yeah, that's
what are
not
those
gonna be
guys going
pretty.
to do to stop them?
Also, what's been up with Schwartz, man?
I don't know.
I don't.
He's not as bad as Fisher, so.
I think Schwartz is declining right in front of our eyes because usually he's perfect, and like most players aren't. You can't really say they're perfect, but Schwartz has been perfect for the past several years, and to see him kind of give up a sack like that, that's kind of concerning. But oh well, yeah, like you said, not as bad as Fisher, so I can deal with it.
Yeah, I think part of the reason you might see Schwartz struggle early on is because a big thing about putting Wiley at right guard was they wanted Schwartz to kind of help him out. Because when Wiley was out at left, he was kind of by himself, and people think that Wiley would be good at right guard because Schwartz would be there to help him out. And LDT, say what you want about him, but he's better than Wiley. So I feel so far that Schwartz has kind of an extra responsibility, so that is probably where the problem lies. I'm not going to really judge Schwartz's performance until Rankin is back, because I'm fairly certain Rankin is going to get that right guard spot. And not really relevant to Mitchell Schwartz, but I got to ask, how long until Daniel Kilgore is the starting center?
2 seconds, if I'm the coach.
I am done with Ryder. I actually like Daniel Kilgore.
Dude, I mean, the O-line penalties today just killed us. We could have ended the game a lot earlier if not for them. Even Osemele was just bad today, pass blocking.
Everyone was bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. And like I said, you can't trot out there with, Antonio Hamilton and Rashad Fenton and you can't. That cannot be our starting corner group from now on. Like, let's hope Ward comes back next week, and until then, let's sign Claiborne, or he's still out there. He played in our defense last year. Like, just make the move, all right? And then we get Pennell back for the Ravens game, so I don't know how much that'll make a difference, but Pennell was arguably our best run defender last year, so let's all hope that helps.
Yeah. I want not Mo Claiborne, Prince Amukamara.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a solid plug-and-play guy.
Yeah, any of those would do. And then, as far as injuries, we already went over Frank Clark's illness, whatever that was. Sammy Watkins got dinged by, I think it was Melvin Ingram, or whoever. Not that it matters, but looked like a real bad concussion. I can't imagine he's back for the Ravens game, but I don't necessarily think we need him, but still a loss. And
I don't know what you were expecting from Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, I mean,
what he does is he plays well week 1, he gets hurt, and then he comes back and balls out in the playoffs.
Yeah, which
he's always been like that.
Just tell him to go home until the postseason, assuming we make it. But I think those are all the injuries. I think that was it. I think Damian Wilson came out for like one play, but he played the rest of the game. I think that's it as far as injuries. But let's talk.
I'd say we're pretty lucky on the injury front.
Yeah.
Considering other teams.
All the stuff that's went down today. But let's talk about our man Harrison Butker, who won the game.
Give him a gold jacket now.
I mean,
dude.
Yeah. I think so. He nailed a 50-something yarder earlier in the game.
8.
Yeah, 58-yarder. Then hit another one to win the game. Had to hit it again after a stupid O-line penalty. Cut Allegretti, please.
Yeah, so put that into context. He essentially hit 3 58-yard field goals One of them won the game. One of them didn't count because they iced him. Right?
Yep.
To compare him to other Chiefs kickers, the longest field goal ever made by a Chiefs kicker was 58 yards. And Butker did it today 3 times.
Crazy.
Nick Lowry hit a 58-yarder once, and Butker did it 3 times, twice with the game on the line.
It's just amazing because, like, it doesn't... Like, I don't think people understand how crazy, like, 58 yards is. Now, it's not, like, unhittable, but that's no chip shot. And to hit it, like, 3 times in a game like that, granted, one of them didn't count. He just had to redo it. But that's incredible.
For the brand, Cuzzy. And it's especially incredible in the modern-day NFL, where you see these inconsistent or just terrible kickers, like Boswell is really inconsistent, and you see Cody Parkey bouncing around teams. They're that desperate. And, you know, NFL teams have just gotten significantly worse at scouting kickers. Like, the Patriots are starting Nick Folk. And the fact that we were able to get a kid this good to be our kicker, I think that Harrison Butker is 1B with best kicker in the NFL. Tucker is 1A. Butker is 1B. They are outstanding, and I'm so happy that we have a kicker that good, because if we had, I don't know, Ryan Suckup starting, we lose this game.
Yeah, even if, and I am confident in Butker. He's been amazing since he's gotten here, but I do have to admit, I went and hid in my bathroom for those field goals because I couldn't watch.
Dude, that was so intense. Yeah.
Oh, and one amazing play I wanted to point out was that play that really got us back into the game was Mahomes', I think it was like 50-plus yard dot to Tyreek Hill and a touchdown. And Tyreek Hill, like, took off his helmet. Didn't get a flag for it, thankfully, but tore it off. I don't know if that's a thing, tearing off a helmet. But he pulled off his helmet and just looked pissed off. And that got me so hyped. Tyreek is just amazing.
Yeah, he had a couple drops, but it was because he tried to turn upfield too early.
Yeah. And I will give Tyreek the benefit of the doubt most of the time. So he more than made up for it. I think the Chiefs made the game a little more. The Chiefs made the game a lot more stressful than it had to be. But overall, they came out with the win. You just pack it up, figure it out next week, just like that Lions game last year. You know, you just will your way to win, and you figure out the rest later. And we still ended up winning the Super Bowl. So I'm not like doubting that we're Super Bowl contenders anymore. Although it is a bit concerning that we barely beat the team that barely beat the Bengals last week.
If you're Andy Reid, you need to treat this game like a loss when it comes to practices.
Yes.
Because this is like Steelers-esque playing down to your competition. And if you want to run it back, you can't do that. Yeah. So, yeah, celebrate Butker's game-winning field goal, but go back and study the film like it was lost. There's a lot to improve on. Yeah,
and Mahomes, didn't really stand out. Oh, I mean, he stood out, but to the casual fan, they're not going to be like, Mahomes had an amazing game. But, man, his running ability, so underrated. That man willed us to a win today.
Again, what is Lamar better than him at?
Yeah. I mean, and he was willing to get hit, too. There was that one where the play kind of broke down, and he ran right up the middle. And he could have either slid, but it would have been short of the first, or he decided to take the contact, and he took the contact and got a first down.
Dude, he converted a 3rd and 20 with his legs. Think about how absurd that is.
Yeah, and it wasn't the only, clutch running play he had that game, too, which I know we see players like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen make those plays on a weekly basis, but it's not something you can just, like, you have to be strategic with your running, so it was awesome to see.
Yeah, Mahomes is the definition of pick your poison. Like, Brady is going to beat you by taking little bitch routes and not turning the ball over. Aaron Rodgers is going to beat you by being clutch and pulling some magic out of his ass. Lamar is going to beat you by just running around everyone. Wilson is going to beat you by either burning you if you come up close or by running to get the first down. And Mahomes can do literally any of those things. He can he can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arms or with his arm, and he can beat you with his awareness of the defense around him. So there is not much you can really do to stop him except for take away his weapons. That's all you can do.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Yeah, which they did for a good bit today. Well, and it was more so the Chargers D-line getting pressure on us so much to the point where we just literally could not do anything. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a quiet game, though. He definitely cooled down from his Week 1 performance. He had a couple good receptions, but besides like that one long run he broke out at the beginning of the game, I didn't really see too much from him. They tried to get him involved in the passing game. He had like a 1-yard reception and got tackled immediately, and then he had another reception that got negated by a penalty, and then he had the one that set up the Butker field goal. But besides that, definitely cooled down from last week.
Yeah, and I think it's because last week the Texans had been studying film from last year, and it was just us torching their defense. So us running the ball was just easy, and we didn't really want to show anything last week. It was just an easy way to get the win.
Oh yeah.
And we ran the ball a lot more because there was nothing they could do. And when you run the ball when you're ahead, and we weren't ahead very much in this game, so.
Yeah, but how about our guy Darwin Thompson with some clutch runs today?
Darwin finally started living up to his expectations.
Which
he looked very good.
Yeah, which weren't super high, but we expected him to contribute at some point. But yeah, that he had the nice one that gave us the first down. He had a couple other strong runs in the game. The dude, he's tiny, but he'll run right over you.
I was very pleasantly surprised with Darwin Thompson.
Yeah, so was I. And I think that was the other injury. Darrell, he twisted his ankle or something like that and had to go out. I don't think it'll be anything too serious, but that was an injury.
Devontae Freeman. Bring him in.
Yeah, I mean, he's a free agent. Why not? But
I don't think we need to do that. I'm sure Darrell will be back.
But overall, I think this game is definitely a wake-up call to the good luck NFL defenses crowd and the cocky crowd that acts like the Chiefs and Mahomes can do no wrong. This team is beatable, and you can take Mahomes and the Chiefs offense out of their game if you do exactly what the Chargers did today, which is get to Mahomes and force the Chiefs to have stupid plays and stupid play calls, and you have Andy Reid freaking out, and that's just what happens, But this is definitely a wake-up call to those people who I see all over Twitter that are like, good luck against the Chiefs, NFL. Like, this team has a lot to work on.
Yeah, you don't really see a team's true form until they get punched in the mouth. And this was almost, I guess you could say it's the punch in the mouth that is going to wake us up, but I don't think we're going to treat it like it is. But I feel relatively soon we're going to get that punch in the mouth like we did last year with the Colts. That's going to really wake this team up.
Oh, yeah, it'll still happen. And it might be next week against the Ravens, although the Ravens isn't exactly a punch in the mouth because, if they win, it was just because they were the better team. Unless it's like some BS by the refs or something like that. But, like a game against the Chargers or I forget, or if it's a game against like the Raiders, for example, and the Raiders like make it really close like today or they end up beating us, that will be a punch in the mouth.
I think we're going to kind of move on. This is so comparable to the Lions game last year.
Oh, in so many ways. And it ended with Mahomes running it to essentially win us the game.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I'm not going to bet against us because bad things happen when that happens, especially against the Ravens. I think that Chiefs-Ravens is going to remain a very one-sided rivalry, but I can see why you'd say that we're going to lose to them next week. But I don't think we will. Off the top of my head, I don't know who we play after that, but I think there's a very real chance we lose to whoever that is.
Yeah.
Especially if we bounce back after this and beat the Ravens, we're going to think we're hot shit and probably blow the next game.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that. But, yeah, the reason I think we probably lose to the Ravens is just because they look like a well-oiled machine right now, and they're just off to a hotter start, and they're just completely destroying teams. I mean, we kind of destroyed the Texans, but our defense also was still iffy in that game, and it definitely was today. So that's why I'm concerned about the Ravens, just because of their dynamic offense, and they have a really good defense too. So, I mean, I'm not saying. Yeah, like I'm not saying like the Ravens completely outclass us. Like we can still beat them, but would I be surprised if we lost? No.
To be fair, they just beat Cleveland, and we both beat the Texans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Maybe when we actually play them, we'll come out of our shell. So it's the NFL. You never know.
They beat the Texans 33-16, and we beat the Texans 34-20. So,
not too far.
I don't know. I'd say we're pretty much on par.
Yeah. I don't know. The Ravens, I do really want to beat the Ravens, though, because their fans are super annoying.
I think we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you've changed my mind.
I think it's going to be close. And we need to start Willie Gay. Because with Ben Neiman, we're going to lose.
Just have Willie Gay spy Lamar. Just have him spy Lamar the entire game, and you win. Yeah,
that's as simple as it gets. And I would also appreciate it if we could just sign a corner. Yeah. Like, my guy would be Prince Amukamara.
I say Mo Claiborne. I think Amukamara is the better player, but I think Mo Claiborne just benefits a lot. Having played in this defense last year, and he would literally just slip right in. So that's why I say Mo Claiborne.
I see why you say that, but Amukamara played for Spags in New York.
Okay, yeah, so that would work too. I mean, neither move is the wrong move, but one of the two would be great.
Yeah, I feel like Amukamara isn't great. He's not on the level of like Gilmore or Ramsey by any means, but I feel like he could kind of do what Gilmore and Ramsey do, where we just point out somebody on the field and say, go cover them. Like not any like fast slot receiver or anything, but just any big receiver. I feel like Amukamara could hold his own physically with them. Like, of course, he's going to get beat sometimes, but I think he could hold his own more so than some of our guys because we don't have very physical corners. But, like, I wouldn't really trust L'Jarius Sneed on Julio Jones, but I feel like Amukamara would be a good guy to have matched up with a guy like Julio. Just bring a different dynamic to this defense.
Yeah, if Sneed were to play on Julio Jones and lock him up, you just give that man a 10-year contract extension right now.
But like I was saying earlier, I think we could like move Amukamara around the field. I think that Sneed is that guy at this point because he can play in the slot. He's proven he can play outside too. So like, my strategy going into this game would have been, I would have just said, "Hey, 38, follow 13. Wherever Keenan Allen goes, Sneed goes with him." That's what I would have done.
Yep, and that's kind of what they did today, and Sneed did a good job. So.
Next week, I'd have Sneed shadow Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be the move. And then I'd double Mark Andrews because I feel like Mark Andrews is going to beat the shit out of either Dirty Dan or Willie Gay, whoever's on him.
Just don't put Neiman on him for the love of God. Don't put Neiman on him.
Yeah. I would love to see the addition of Amukamara. And I still am on the Earl Thomas train. I feel like he would be grateful to be here and behave for 1 year. And with him at safety, again, going back to the man-on-man, follow your guy wherever he goes, I feel like that guy could be Tyron.
I would love having Earl Thomas here.
Yeah, but maybe what we could do is put Earl Thomas at free safety. Have Earl Thomas roam. He's a seasoned veteran. He knows what the defense is going to do. put Juan Thornhill, who looked terrible today, at strong safety, where he has a more specific assignment, and then have Tyron and Sneed follow their two best guys, and Fenton just be the third guy that goes wherever.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Or I guess that'd be Ward, not Fenton.
Right. We're just over half an hour now. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrap it up?
No, not really.
All right, well, I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, definitely a emotional game today, but we'll catch y'all next time. Probably melting down again, but peace.